Chair Khan, what's your view of the status of things in general with competition?
I think we've seen from a significant amount of empirical studies as well as our own lived experience that declining competition in sectors has caused major problems for the American people. Higher prices, lower wages, lower rates of new business formation, stagnant rates of innovation, as well as crippling resiliency and more fragile markets. This is something that we take very seriously. We, of course, in addition to our competition mandate, have a mandate to enforce consumer protection laws, and we also see how increasing dominance and a lack of competition also enables consumer protection violations. In terms of the challenges, I would echo the AAG in terms of noting that antitrust enforcement resources has not kept up with the size of the economy. The number of people at the Federal Trade Commission today is around 2/3 of what it was in the early 1980s, around 500 people fewer, and that causes significant strain. It causes enormously difficult decisions for us about what types of unlawful deals we are challenging and are not challenging. I think especially when we had years like last year where deal volume was just phenomenally off the charts, it prompted extremely difficult choices for us and unfortunately made us realize that with the resources we have, we're going to do the best we can and fight to protect people the best we can, but fully delivering on the mandate that Congress has given us is extremely difficult.
I'm well aware from this from just my work on antitrust in this building, where the four big companies fighting the bill that Mr. Cantor referred to on self-preferencing and the like have something like 2,700, that's a minimum, lawyers and lobbyists, and we have two lawyers in our council. Here they are. They're very good. And so I know that feeling, and I think that this is an outrageous situation if we want to move forward at all.
And in our federal court Facebook litigation, we're outgunned at least 1 to 10 is what we calculated.
Exactly. Mr. Cantor, you were sworn in at a time when the Antitrust Division had more pending grand jury investigations. That was in 2021 than at any time in history. The division also indicted 20 criminal cases since last November, more than any time since the 80s. Would you share with us your approach to criminal antitrust enforcement very quickly?
Yes, I think there are three primary benefits, at least three, to criminal antitrust enforcement. First, practices such as price fixing and market allocation raise prices to consumers and deprive people of their hard-working money. Competition to fix wages can deprive Americans the opportunity to earn a better salary. And finally, collusion, particularly with respect to the procurement, deprives taxpayers of dollars, wastes taxpayer dollars, and leads to fraud and abuse. And so this area of criminal antitrust enforcement is absolutely critical to the work we do.
Thank you. And Ms. Khan, in January 2022, that would be this year, Martin Shkreli was found liable for antitrust violations brought by the FTC and a group of 7 state enforcers for interfering with the entry of a generic drug. We have good, strong feelings about generics here and the importance of competition. The court banned him for life from participating in the pharmaceutical industry, found him liable for $64.6 million in disgorgement. Do you believe this decision to hold him personally accountable sends a message to other executives about obeying the antitrust laws?
Absolutely, Senator. I think we've seen time and time again that when you just have fines as a remedy, certain firms can treat that as a cost of just doing business. And so making sure that we're holding executives, including top-level executives, accountable where appropriate can be critical.
Okay, very good. My last question, I'm concerned that Congress has held dozens of hearings on this issue related to your agencies, but hasn't followed up with legislative reforms to address the gaps in antitrust law, new market challenges posed by dominant digital companies. I've talked often in recent months about putting the mirror on ourselves instead of just complaining about everyone else. Do you agree that as our economy changes and new threats to competition emerge, is it helpful for you if Congress gave you new tools in order to enforce the competition laws? Funding, yes, but also new tools.
The answer is absolutely yes. As you're aware, Senator, the Department of Justice provided a full-throated a letter in support of your ICOA legislation, along with Senator Grassley, and we remain enthusiastic about the prospect of Congress exercising its authority to give us additional tools.
Thank you. I'll leave because I'm over my time. I will note, Senator Lee, that we have a famous person in our midst. Representative Buck, the ranking member on our sister committee or brother committee over in the House, is with us, sitting somewhere in the back, I hear. There he is. We thank him for his courage and his really good work in this area, and we'd love to deliver a bicameral, bipartisan set of legislation that we pass. Senator Lee.
He is